Ребята, всем здравствуйте, я сегодня в майке российской футбольной. Почему? По двум причинам. Потому что вчера Россия выиграла Молдову. В наши времена, ребята, это уже сенсация. Вот. Но это значит что? Что, скорее всего, сборная России, я очень сильно надеюсь, поедет на чемпионат Европы во Францию. И мы снова будем вести блог поющего болельщика. Я и мой друг Гриша, как 4 года назад в Польше. Возможно, это снова случится. Я уже не верил, плакал. Дом Капелло сильно нас расстраивал, но Леонид Слуцкий вперед. Так вот, это первая причина, по которой я в российской футболке. Вторая причина, к нам приехал друг из Лондона, он француз, живет в Лондоне, предприниматель, занимается в B2B, работает в сфере B2B, у него есть свое агентство, короче, он сейчас расскажет, чем они там занимаются. И они с женой, у них медовый месяц, ханимун. Они решили сделать транссибирский трип. Я не знаю, почему европейцы любят это делать. Вот сейчас узнаем. По мне, так для ханимуна это не самое крутое решение. Но мы спросим у Генри, как ему нравится. Ладно, переходим на английский. Я потом сделаю subtitles, субтитры, и вы сможете все понять. Okay, hello Henry, my friend. Nice to see you in Russia. Very nice to see you. I didn't expect to see you in Siberia because usually I live in Moscow. Now I'm in Siberia, and for me it's a miracle actually. But you here in Siberia, in the center, in the middle of Russia, and it's unbelievable. But tell me the story. First of all, how did you come up with that idea to come here in Russia with your wife, honeymoon? How this happens?
Well, with Virginie, we always wanted to do the Trans-Siberian trip. We wanted to take the train and go from Moscow to Beijing.
Okay.
We think it's a new way of transportation. It's really relaxing because you have to relax. It's a 6-day trip.
Yeah.
You spend 25 hours in the train every day. So you have to relax, you have to slow down. And it helps you free your mind and read books and just take a little bit of time.
Yeah, but for Russian people, it's kind of extreme. It seems for us like, how you feel about your trip from Moscow to Siberia? It took how many days actually?
From Moscow to here, well, it took us 1 day to go to Yekaterinburg, and then, 26 hours, and then we spent 3 days in Yekaterinburg. And it took us about 22 hours to come here. Then we spend a day here, and then we'll go on and on and on until...
Okay, so we're gonna talk about briefly about business, about life, and about maybe political situation. Because you have, I know, you have very interesting point of view. So let's check this out. About business, can you briefly tell me about you, about your business? What do you do? Why did you move from Paris to London, and what kind of business do you have there?
So, first I worked in big American corporations in the past, and I wanted in Paris, in London, in Ireland, a little bit everywhere.
What did
so
you
I
do?
worked with people like Apple, General Electric, this type of company. And then I wanted to start my own company, start my own business. And I met with a couple of entrepreneurs that I knew from before, and we decided to create a company in B2B marketing, and it has to do with data and software.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so...
and moreover, targeting.
So you found an investor, yeah, and then...
So yeah, my 2 business partners had already created several companies before, as I said, and they had several investors that we knew, and one of them liked the idea, and we started the company on investment.
So do you know what is elevator pitch? You know probably what is elevator pitch?
Yes.
So can you tell for us your elevator pitch? What is your business about?
We're analyzing what you do on the internet anonymously to be able to identify what you're interested in and to send you targeted advertising based on your interest.
I don't know if they're able to understand exactly.
So in other words, we look at what you read on the internet to identify if you like football, for example, in your example. And if you really like football, then we're going to ensure that you get more football ads on the internet than any other ads that you wouldn't be interested in.
Okay, so you're doing business to business service, yeah? Like
Да.
B2B. It's perfect because this is my target audience. Tell me a little bit about the process. First of all, about cold calling. Do you cold call for sell your service in England or in France? Is
Well,
it typical?
I think the methodology is very often the same. First, you need to identify your wider audience. Who are your customers? Then you need to segment them
Yep.
and say, on that wide audience, here 5 or 6 or 10 groups of people who have similar criteria.
Yep.
And then once you've understood that, you need to create your arguments based on their specificities. Once you've created your arguments, then you need to contact them either by email.
So
phone,
how do you do
LinkedIn.
exactly? Like you need a meeting for with boss, with people, with men who decide, yeah. So how can you get that meeting? What do you do exactly?
Well, what we did is we hired people who had a lot of connections in France, in the UK,
Good point.
in
Yes.
the US. So we first hired local people
Yep.
because local businesses like to be talked by local people.
Yep.
So you hire local people who have a lot of connections, and then they make the introductions.
Okay.
Once the introductions are made, it's a sales process. It's all about asking questions, active listening,
Yep.
active listening, and active listening.
Quite the same in Russia. Listen. So you come to your customer actually not to tell your story, but listen his story. Yes?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, quite selfish. Yeah. They don't want to listen about your brilliant idea.
I mean, when we created the company, my business partners took me to a lot of people, and it was just sending ideas. We had no product, we had nothing. It was just sending ideas, talking about data and targeting people. And then if you listen to the people, they'll tell you what they need. There's no point of creating a product if it doesn't correspond to something they need.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
you have to listen to understand their needs. Once you've understood their need, you know if your product can fit their needs and how. And then you can explain them
Absolutely.
how you can help them with their needs with your product.
It sounds obvious, but it's not that obvious actually. You do your job, and you even don't ask someone if they need your brilliant idea or they don't. So, okay, we had a long conversation yesterday with Henry, and the process looks quite the same actually in Russia, in London, in France, doesn't matter. Oh, the same travel, the same objections, actually the same, but sometimes it's different. So, and I wanna talk about loans, about debts, because in B2B we have a debt, yeah. So customer took our product, took our service, but customer doesn't want to pay. And you told me very interesting way of getting your money back from your customer, not back, but getting your money from your customer.
Yeah.
So tell me the story. How did you do that?
Well, on the daily basis, it was my salespeople were
Yeah.
supposed to be calling the
Of
customers.
course, they're supposed to get money from
to
their
get money
customer,
from the customer.
but they don't want.
Some
to do
were
it.
some were good, some were not good, and most of them they think it's a very not worthy task,
Yeah.
not nice task. So after a year, we had a lot of money were withheld by our customers because they didn't pay us. So after a while, I just got fed up, and I just took all the invoices
Yeah.
and called myself.
Yeah, by
all
yourself.
customers, all my
Owner
customers.
of the company was calling by himself
Yeah.
to.
Because I had to show the sales guys it's not a complicated things to do. First, second, it's not a great things to do, but it's really important for the company. That's why me, the owner, and the sales director, I did it myself.
Yep.
And three, it is doable because most salespeople will tell you, I called him once, or I called him twice. He doesn't want to pay,
Yeah,
etc.,
yeah, yeah.
etc. They'll all give you good excuses,
Yes.
but in the end, they just don't want to do it. So because they don't want to do it, they don't do it properly.
Absolutely.
When it's your company, you need that money, and if you want to pay your employees, they don't understand that because they're not the owner.
So you were calling by yourself day per day. Every day you were calling.
Every day I was starting by calling the accountant, then I was looking at the financial director number and even the CEO if I could. So my technique was to call them every single day.
Were they pissed off? Tell me, like, what kind of reaction did you have on the phone line?
Well, first you get people telling you, yeah, I'm going to pay you. So you ask them always when. Because when is a commitment from them to you. And they say, well, next week. Okay, when next week?
Yep.
Well, Monday or Tuesday. Okay, I'll call you on Tuesday.
Okay.
Then you call him on Tuesday. He's expecting your call.
Yep.
Say, okay, I didn't get the money.
He was expecting your
Of course, because you told him.
Yeah, but he told to you, like, you know,
Yeah.
it was actually go fuck off. Sorry.
No, absolutely. But because you're calling him and you tell him, well, you told me Tuesday, so I'm calling you today, he's not surprised.
Okay.
He's not happy, but he's not surprised. And then he'll probably tell you, well, it's not me, it's complicated, blah, blah, blah. And then you have to ask him, how complicated is it? Explain to me your pain.
Yeah.
Why is it complicated? And then understand the process. Often it's just an excuse.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a true complication.
Yeah.
So what you make him talk to understand what's the complication. And then tell him, okay, so when will I get paid? Okay, before the end of, well, next week. No. You told me next week last week.
Yep.
So when can I get paid this week? Okay, I'll try. Okay. Who is the next step? Do you need any approval?
Yeah.
Or is it already through? I need approval from my financial director. Okay, I'll call him. No, you can't. Okay, I Google, find the financial director on LinkedIn, find his number and call him. And so on and so on and so on. And because you call them, every week to start with, and then every day when.
So you were calling precisely to financial director.
In some cases, yeah.
Yeah, and how? What did tell me the reaction? Like, he doesn't care. He didn't know you even, and you are calling to him like, "Hello, Mister. I work with your guy, and he doesn't pay me." And he told you, you have to pay.
I called him and said, "Hello, I've got your number because you've owed us an invoice for more than 6 months, and we're a small company, and we need that sorted now."
Yeah. And what did he tell?
Well, usually he's a little bit embarrassed because he doesn't know you, but he still understands that 6 months is a long time.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, let me get back to you, etc., etc. I said, no, don't worry. I'll send you the invoice right away so you can tell me what you think. You have to keep him on the phone while you send him the invoice so that he can sit while you're on the phone with him. Because else he'll tell you, yeah, I'll get back to you. And you don't want that, because I'll get back to you means next time I won't answer your call. So you wait, you say, oh, what's your email? Okay, here's my invoice. Do you see? It's more than 6 months old. What's going on? Do you have it in your records? And then he starts to be a little bit pissed off and says, yeah, okay, I'll tell my guys to look at it. But yeah, but you have to understand, I need a payment date now. So when will you pay that thing? And because it's the financial director, when he's going to say Monday, you're going to say, okay, you sure? Monday, it's on my account, or is Monday leaving your account? Monday, it's leaving my account. Okay. Can you send me an email on Monday to show me that it left your account? Yeah. And then he's going to do it. Okay. If he says, okay, yes, he's going to do it.
So can you tell?
And if it doesn't do it, you just call him back.
Yeah, that's the story.
Simple.
Tough job, man. Tough job, but you have to do it. You have to. So, can you tell those brilliant story about Charlie Chaplin, the company? Because it's very interesting for our subscribers. I bet it's an amazing idea. It's fabulous.
It's a U.S. company, and they're debt collectors. So, in other words, when you have customers not paying you, you call the debt collector and you say, "Hey, can you recover all my debts?"
Yeah, we have.
And I'll give you 30% or 40% of that. So. This one is very particular. They hire people who dress like Charlie Chaplin with their hat and the old style.
So it's like professional actors or someone like this?
Yes, something like this.
Just the people, okay.
And this guy has a suitcase, and on the suitcase it's written, this guy is a bad payer. Doesn't pay his invoice. And then he follows the guy all day long. Each time he goes out of the office, in the office, he goes for dinner in a restaurant, etc. With that suitcase, saying nothing and just smiling and following him. And this company's got huge success rate because apparently just doing this, has increased. They've got 3 times better results than others debt collectors. Just following the guy.
I can't imagine in Russia you're gonna be shot if you do like this. But the idea is so funny. I'm not sure if someone wanna do it in Russia, but try. It's very interesting. So okay, from business, let's go to another conversation. Let's go to point of policy, external, internal, about France, about Russia, about Europe, our relationship. But when it comes to policy, we have to drink a little bit. So let me invite you.
На здоровье.
На здоровье, salty, my friend. Tough. Генри неплохо бьет хренауху, так что, друзья, это жестокий напиток. Did you like it?
It's a bit bitter.
Not that much, a bit bitter. Немножко горькое, ну ладно. So you told me the story that Mr. Putin, there are some fans of Mr. Putin in Europe. Is it true or not? Like, they previously thought Putin is an asshole, but now they think he's a good and brave man, no? Do I understand right it?
I'm not expressing any personal opinion.
Yeah, okay.
But I can see in London and in France that there are people who likes when Putin is taking action.
Yeah.
When he takes action against ISIS.
Yes.
When he says, I'm going to take action against ISIS. I think in France, in London, in a lot of European countries, people are fed up with all this terrorism.
Yeah.
And they're also fed up with the politicians saying, there's nothing we can do about it. Because, yes, there is things we can do about it. I don't know what, but surely there is things you can do about it. And a lot of European
they say something and they don't do anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of some people are starting to like people who take action.
Yeah, like Mr. Putin, yeah?
For example.
Yeah, he takes their actions definitely. Yeah, so, but you know, я не разговаривал по-английски уже полгода, простите меня за это. Но я был в Нью-Йорке вот в феврале месяце, и моя мама очень беспокоилась о том, ты поедешь в Америку, там ужасные люди, которые нас ненавидят и так далее. Я приехал, никакой ненависти. Сейчас спрошу то же самое у Генри про Лондон и Францию, и Париж. So, my mother is concerned about, like, in Europe, for example, how can you go to Europe or in America? They hate us. They will kill you in that country. So tell me, in terms of regular people, not in terms of external politics. If I'm Russian, I'm coming to France or London. What kind of attitude can I get there?
You won't get any negative attitude.
Yep.
I mean, people in France and Russia is much more about a long history in common together than about politics. The politics is one thing, and people is something else. So no, I don't think you get in trouble because you're Russian if you come to France. So, same way, did I get in trouble coming to Russia?
No.
Yes, I got a little bit of visa issue.
Yeah,
but
visa
I don't get issue with the people.
But Europeans, come to Russia. It's a great country, and we are very welcoming to see you here. So you don't feel this, like, how to say it, hateness. You don't feel something in mood against Russia. You don't feel this?
No, I think people are concerned and have different opinion between what's going on with François Hollande and Vladimir Putin. But in the end, it's the politics. Doesn't mean we don't like or we do like Russians. Yeah. It means Mr. Putin and Mr. Hollande disagree on many things. That's how it is.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, if you don't afraid, can you tell us your personal opinion about Mr. Hollande? About Mistral's stuff and stuff like this, our relationship.
To be honest, I could tell you my personal opinion on Mr. Hollande, but
let's listen it.
But on the Mistral stuff and all these political stuff, I have to say, like a lot of people, I think, don't really understand what's really behind it.
Yeah,
so it's difficult to give a real understanding of what's going on, from my point of view.
Yeah, but about Mr. Hollande, what do you think? How do you consider him as a president? What do you think? You don't tell? You don't? Okay, he's not gonna share with us. But I see something in his eye that he's not that happy with his policy. but he doesn't tell. Okay, so and the last our point of conversation is life, lifestyle, stuff like this. Tell me, how do you like your Russian trip here? Did you like it? Trans-Siberian, those trains and stuff like this. What is this?
It's wonderful. It's a wonderful
Really?
experience.
You
Yeah.
like it? Why? Can you explain? Like you
Well,
told
first, you get to see the real Russia because when we don't speak Russian, as you know.
And no one in the train.
And when we
Speak
arrived,
English.
we arrived in the train, no one speaks English.
Yes.
So active listening is about listening to people, and actually, what saves us is how we listen to people who don't speak the same language.
Yeah.
I don't know who said that, but someone said talking is only 30% of communication.
Yeah, that's
The
right.
rest is
It's
body conversation. So if you do some active listening, even if you don't understand the language, you will still kind of understand what the person is trying to say. And that's how we communicate. So that's really, really funny. Also, the Trans-Siberian, because it's a slow train, it forces you to take things slow.
Yeah, that's true.
And while we're in B2B and in marketing and we're connected with our telephones all the time and we're on Facebook and etc., we've got a very connected life.
Okay, so for the moment, I mean, so far you've seen Russia, and you can tell us. Can you tell 5 words describing Russia? How do you see it right now, doing Trans-Siberian trip? 5 words. Only
5 words. History.
History. Okay.
Space.
Space. Okay.
Wonderful people. Sorry, that's 2 words.
Okay.
Happiness.
Okay.
And 5 words.
And the last
this
one?
is, yeah, I love the sceneries.
Sceneries.
Yeah, the nature.
Yeah.
Siberia.
Okay.
All these forests and trees.
No, where are the beautiful women? His wife, sorry. Okay. So, thank you, Henry, for giving that interview. And what I want to say to all Europeans and Americans, we are very, very happy to see you here in Russia, in Siberia, in Irkutsk, Novosibirsk, Yekaterinburg, Moscow, wherever you come. We are very happy to see you. We are open. We don't feel something against you. I mean, at least I talk from my side. I don't know, maybe someone, but a lot of people very happy to talk to foreigners here. I'm very glad to see a tourist from America, Europe. So, very welcome to you. Thank you again for your
Thank you,
interview.
Alex.
If you want to say something, by the way, Henry, he's making a blog, personal blog about his Trans-Siberian trip. I will give you a link under this video, and you can go to that blog, use Google Translator, and read his articles about Russian Trans-Siberian trip. Go there, translate. If you speak French, it's perfect. At least you can use Google Translator. What do you write about there? Just like
just about our trip, and we write with Virginie. We write.
So we
write
impressions,
about our
Russia.
trip, what we see, what we like.
Okay, go there, click, read, enjoy. Bye bye, friends.
Thank you.